Hello, my name is Teresa Valentino, and before I get into today's video about flipping over rape culture, because I believe that the time has come, and the time is now, the dynamics are in play, I just want to thank everybody who's been reading my words on my book, Dear Jimmy, What a Child Trafficking Survivor Wishes You Knew. I watch the reports on Amazon Kindle every single day to see how many people are reading it. I would love it if you guys would give me some reviews. That would be awesome. But basically, the whole Brett Cavanagh kerfuffle has taught me a lot of things. I just did a video called Darvo, Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim and Offender, which is what I saw Brett Cavanagh and his defenders doing over and over and over again. And so if you are a survivor, this is something that once the scientists, if you check my blog at teresavalentino.com and you see what the scientists have said about it, you will recognize this automatically. If you are a rape survivor, you have almost guaranteed been subjected to Darvo at least once. So, and then Brett Cavanagh just did it to all of us. So, but the other thing that I learned from the Cavanagh hearings, and why I think this is important enough to want to reach out to my other Me Too survivors and share it, is that I noticed that, like, the truth is like kryptonite to these guys. And that's a secret weapon, you know what I mean? That's why they've been such shitheads to us about not allowing us to speak, and always we're liars and we're nuts and sluts, you know what I mean? That's why, because they can't tolerate the truth. You can't handle the truth, okay? The truth, like, we can either hold it inside and pretend that nothing actually happened or that it didn't matter or whatever they want us to do. They don't care what we do. They don't care if we die, is what it is. So, you know, I've come to see that for what it is. Like, this kills us all the time. Survivors of sexual assault kill themselves at an alarming rate. I don't know that the same thing is true for United States senators. In fact, I'm sure it's not. So that just goes to show you, like, where the discomfort has been falling in the past, right? You can just think of it that way. Like, they're uncomfortable hearing about what actually happened to us, so they will punish us for for making them uncomfortable by talking about it. But we obviously want to talk about it because it's extremely uncomfortable for us, right? This is common sense. So we're just dealing with, like, sociopathy, basically. An organized group of people who just don't give a damn about other people's humanity. They want what they want, and it's usually money, and they just don't give a damn. So that's, you know, the battle lines are being drawn. I think we can be grateful, kind of like when Obama got elected and all the little racists had to start scurrying out of the corners. Like, you know what I mean? You can't pretend to be on the fence anymore. We really need people to choose a side, I think. And the polarization, it just is what it is. I'm not concerned. I know that I'm on the winning side of history. So, but basically, think about it this way. When you see Chuck Grassley whining at reporters about, I'm being assailed in an elevator, nobody touched his balls. Nobody stuck a finger in his butt. Think about what he just said there. You know what I mean? Like, we who have actually been choked unconscious, kicked, pummeled, sold like a fucking furniture like I was, I've been fucking assailed, Chuck Grassley. You have only heard some words that were scary for you, right? So I think that that's how we can just actually pummel them, because they can't stand reality. That's what it is. The truth is like Republican kryptonite. That's how you fucking get them. That's how you kill them. You just keep saying the truth until they freak out, because that's all you have to do. I'm definitely not a proponent of violence or even property damage, but I think that words, my God, words are still legal, and we have we are holding all of the ammunition when it comes to that, because they're just liars, greedy liars. They'll do anything, they'll say anything to enrich themselves. They hold nothing sacred. So I think that that's pretty obvious by now. But think of it this way. So if you ever do see any of these people, like, they're just the same people who started calling us snowflakes when we complained about them stealing the election the second time, right? Because we're snowflakes. Like, we're just so tender and delicate, we can't even handle it. But their leadership can't even handle a conversation. So, you know what I mean? You just got to know that they project and they lie. If you ever want to know what the Republicans are up to, this is something I noticed back in the days of G.W. Bush. If you ever want to know what their secret evil plan is, because they always, always have one, okay, you have to just listen whatever they're accusing somebody else of. That's exactly what they're up to. So I think it was either Grassley or McConnell. I'm going to say it was Grassley, who this time claimed that some people want to have a secret, unelected government in the Supreme Court that's beyond the reach of the people. And I'm like, oh, well, that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they think they have now. They think that they're able to rule us, overrule the mob. That's what they think they've got. So game on, bitch. You're too chicken to even have a conversation. So anytime you see any of these people for the rest of their lives, never let them be exempt from this. Make their lives a living hell with the truth. If you see them in a grocery store, at an airport, at a movie theater, you know what? If I see any of these people walking into a church with their children that they're trying to christen a baby, I'm going to scream at them about my sexual assaults until I am physically forced to stop. Now, this strategy is not for everybody. If you are new at this game, if you have just recently joined the Me Too club, I'm really sorry about that. None of us choose to join the club by definition, right? So when you're new at this and when you still are negotiating how to be a raped person in the world, like whether you're going to admit it or not, whether you're going to internalize the shame or how you're going to deal with it if you have support, work with your therapist on this. This is not for you to start screaming about your abuse because it's still too tender and painful. I've been in therapy for decades about this. I've already weeded out all the shithead people from my life. So I am free at this point to speak my truth in no uncertain terms. And when I say that, I am going to tell them horrible, gory details about being a 7-year-old prostitute. Like, I don't know how many times I've been choked unconscious. That's a true statement. And I don't care if Chuck Grassley's 7-year-old granddaughter is there to hear it, okay? I don't care, because I was taught as a child in school about the Middle Passage and about what happened to people in slavery times. And I sat there in school like, holy God, like what? How can that even be real? But see, the way I was taught these things was kind of in a blender, you know what I mean? Through the lens of white nuns who kind of meant well, but also totally had no idea how to get it as human beings. So I was just kind of taught that, well, that was a long, long time ago, and there's nothing we can do about it now, and it's all just, life is always unfair. It always has been, so it just sucks, but we're not racist anymore, and you know what I mean? And it's the same kind of thing. If you share about your rape experiences in front of their children, it gives them an opportunity to grasp onto fucking reality. You're like throwing them a lifeline to understand that what's being fed to them from the tablecloth is pure lies. It will never lead them to a healthy, holy life in Christ. It just won't, okay? This whole claim of Christianity among these people is just a pure fat lie, like when Kellyanne Conway said she was a victim of sexual assault, okay? The fact that she used the word victim and not survivor in that context definitely assures me that that was a big fat lie, because, once again, refer back to Darvo, what do guilty people do to flip the script? Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. So in her role on TV that day, Kellyanne Conway was on the attack for Brett Kavanaugh. No, she was Darvoing for Brett Kavanaugh. So when it's convenient for her, when she's cornered like the little rat that she is, how does she become the victim? Claim victimhood. I am a victim of sexual assault too. So now you can't say a single word to me. Pure fat fucking Darvo. So the truth will set us all free. This is what this whole polarization, in my estimation, is coming down to. Those of us who love the truth and want to live on planet Earth, and those of us who think Kellyanne Conway's alternative facts make perfect fucking sense and Brett Kavanaugh should be on the Supreme Court, that is, planet B, where they're just going to keep with the coal mining forever. So that's how I see it. So if you are thinking about this, again, if you're new to the Me Too family, I don't recommend necessarily screaming gory details like I'm going to do. But I do recommend just making them uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Take the discomfort from yourself and push it out to the world. Let not only Chuck Grassley and his wife and grandchildren or whoever the hell he's with, let them all be super uncomfortable, ruin their absolute meal for fucking sure. And it's okay to ruin the meals of all the people around them too, because that's what society is. It's all the indirectly involved people who just happen to be in the area. Okay? So that's what it is. They can't just stand there and rape us with their law books, okay, and claim we need to be more civil. Fuck that. That's not a real thing, and I don't think you should buy into it. I think that is just more mind games and manipulation of the people who believe they are kings. So, go get them, baby. Fuck civility. Tell them what you really think.